Right, let's try this again. On Spotify, it's not on. That works. That works. Right. Now I need to try and find myself over here. And wait for everybody to hop on. Just for anybody who's watching when, after the fact and wondering why I'm talking to myself. There we go. Hello, Zanka. Hello, Andrea. Sorry about that. Streamlabs just completely utterly crashed. Yay. What the hell? Let's open the stream. Richard's here, Cody's here. Hello. Welcome. Why is this not opening the live? What's going on? Okay, at least I can see you over here. TT, actually, are there any infernals within the Goetia that you could connect with the sciences related to websites, building them or protecting them? Interesting question, because obviously that's new technology. I would have a look at the liberal sciences. Mechanical arts, you can probably actually include websites and internet. Maybe not. Maybe that's more the mechanisms, the tools, the actual physical computers and servitors and things like that. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, which would be President Marbas. In that regard, I'll just check on definitions here. I'm thinking liberal sciences, but I can't remember what that means. Let's see what liberal science. Any of 7 traditional academic. No, this is grammar, logic, rhetoric, arithmetic, music, geometry, and astronomy. Probably wouldn't include internet. Yeah, but I'm still I'm coming back to Marbas. Maybe go and have a chat with Marbas and see if he can actually help you with that. I think there's any other specific ones that I've heard of recently. I can't think of any offhand. Yeah, try Marbas. Johanna, cut off on a cliff. Sorry about that. Streamlabs just crashed, and then I tried to start a new live, and it wouldn't start the stream, the camera stream. So that's just hung. So I tried again. And Jono's here. Hello, Jono. Johanna, what was I talking about when I got cut off? Jono always joins after I get cut off and get back on again. Yeah. Divs is here. Hello, Divs. Andy's here. Andrea's here. Good stuff. thanks. Yeah, I will try. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because Marvis, in terms of mechanical arts and healing itself, tends to kind of separate the layers of things and, gets into the nitty-gritty of all stuff. I'll find something that would indicate what the digital world would be considered if we were to take that and the equivalent within the old grimoires. You could look in terms of alchemy, because specifically in web development, you're taking base code and changing it into something which you can view as being a website. So you could look at it in terms of changing raw data into something else, which could be an alchemical process. You could have a look at spirits that could help with alchemy. All I can really think of. Anyway. You were talking about dreaming. What was I talking about dreaming? What was I saying about dreaming? Saying lots of things about dreaming. I can't remember what it was when I got cut off. I'm sure we'll get back to it. If you got any questions, just... and that you have a problem saying... Oh, yeah, no, I've always had a problem with dreams. I rarely, until recently, I kind of rarely remembered my dreams or remember even having dreams. And recall's always been a difficulty, but that's getting better. As I said, it's about training. It's about just keep practicing until you get it right. Jono, it's not on purpose, beloved uncle. I just remembered you're on now. The reason I always join after you've had internet problems is that you buy your internet from Temu. I wish I bought it from Temu, it would be cheaper. Johanna and... Oh yes, problem with dreaming. Andrea at the... can you say hi to Alistair, please? Hello, Alistair. Hope you're doing well. I think he maybe gets a bit left out because I do like him. I know he's there. Yeah, Johanna said hi, Alistair, as well. You should try to work with Marquise. Here we go again, Decarabia and Andrea Alphas on Dreamwork. Okay, now you've just given me the answer. Thank you very much. I mean, I'm working with a particular spirit at the moment for Dreamwork, but Decarabia has been coming up for me over and over and over and over and over again this past 2 weeks. And I haven't been able to figure out why. And I think you just given me the answer. It's regarding Dreamwork. Yeah, I am working with I'm doing this Black Book of Obi Mero working at the moment, so I'm working a very particular spirit in regards to everything at the moment, so it's kind of like it's very devotional, so I'm really the only spirit I'm working with at the moment, but I will definitely keep that in mind. Thank you very much. Elfwald, are you Jewish? No, I'm not Jewish. Why do you ask? I think I probably know why, but yeah, let me know why you ask. Okay, let me open this over here, and then I can have bigger writing and I can see better. Although I'm not even sure this is working properly on YouTube. Okay. YouTube's catching up. Okay, Andrea, Marius, Andreophos sounds awesome. Oh, Marquis, yeah. Cuckoo, hello Cuckoo. I was watching from Hidden Place and my energy broke live when I come out. Oh, okay, well, now we know who to blame. Just having issues with. Oh, I always have issues with the computer. Well, who am I kidding? That's not just today. Right. Oh, let me just make it bigger, and then I can. Everybody's writing better. There we go. Now I can actually read stuff. I need to put it on live chat. Elfwald, just checking. I recently discovered that Jews invented Christianity to destroy European pagans spiritually. Yeah. I don't know where you got that information from, but I can almost 100% guarantee that it's false. That sounds weird. That's almost like Christians saying that the Jews sacrifice children every Sabbath. You know, that's really weird inventions that come out of the minds of some people. I don't know. Cuckoo. Oh, hello. Hannah, been obsessed with nutmeg lately. Just the smell. I wonder if it does something magical. Oh, nutmeg's very powerful. Let's have a look. Let me actually pull up this rather. If you're pregnant, don't take nutmeg. Big warning there. Anybody who's pregnant, do not take nutmeg. It will miscarry your child. You put it in oil in your hair. Oh, cool. Where is that? How am I going here? Okay. In my box. Don't know what I'm doing anymore. Cuckoo Elfwald, Jew is not the name of an ethnic group, but of a religious group. Every follower of the Bible is a Jew. The Bible says so. I'm not sure I would entirely agree with that either, actually. Where the bloody hell? There we go. Johanna, maybe I don't want to get pregnant, and I don't know, possibly. Okay, move that over there, and then go down to nutmeg. Andrea, I tried nutmeg as teacher plant. It taught me to puke. Yeah, I can see that. Alright, nutmeg. Let's have a look. Read the damn thing. Nutmeg is used. Nutmeg is used for the purpose of bringing good fortune in games of charm. There we go. It's used as a gambler's charm in money mojos. Yeah, that's really all its main purpose. It seems to be just good fortune in games of chance. So, Kerry was talking about lottery earlier. There you go. Put some nutmeg in with your lottery cards. Right. Will Thorpe, hello. Do you believe demons can lie? Yeah, everybody can lie. Everything can lie. Everything. Absolutely. Yes, why not? Sometimes they have a good reason for lying. It may be a trickster element, something like that, but they lie to get you to do a particular thing so that you can progress. You might be kind of holding yourself back, afraid to do something, and it's holding you back, and it's not good for you. So, you know, there's can be a bit of a trickster aspect. But yeah, that's why, you know, spirits couldn't lie. They don't really have other than tricking you to, you know, get you to progress. I don't think they really have much of a reason to. They don't really care that much. Balem, Sir Johanna, just try to use it in spell work or through working with various spirits and see what happens. Yeah, do that as well. Well, I am under the impression demons cannot lie due to Satan always telling the truth in the Bible. Okay, where does Satan always tell the truth in the Bible? Now, you got to remember that Satan, the entity Satan, is a Christian construct. It's created by Christian people. But if we are considering this to be Satan, Shaitan, well, that's not one figure. That's not one entity. That is multiple entities and figures, including angels, including people, who are the opposers and the adversaries. I mean, originally it was actually a title for a lawyer, an advocate, you know, who would go into court and argue his case as the opposer. Or at one stage anyway. So, I mean, anything can lie. Anything with intelligence can lie. You know, and they have will of their own. They can lie. Whether they want to, if they have a reason for lying, that's a whole different purpose. I mean, we as humans lie all the time because we can't be honest with people. You know, we might tell white lies to protect people. It's also a lie. But anything with intelligence can lie. As I said, it may be a lie which is part of tricking you into doing something that you should be doing. Other than that, I don't really see them having a reason. No reason for them to lie. You know, not like humans. Johanna, probably some banishing properties. Oh, nutmeg. Could be. Cuckoo, will Bullthorpe. Where does an angel end and a demon begin? It's also true. I mean, it's come back to Satan. The angels have been called Satans because they stood in the part of a person so that they had to make a choice or they had to do something. They were the adversary to that person, so that, you know, get them on the right path type of thing. Same thing. And sometimes it's a trickster thing. It's they lie to you to get you on the right path. Depends on the situation. Maybe a limb that will. They can just as much as you and I can, but lying isn't always done with malicious intent. There we go. Jono, YouTube is hiding the comments about our East Mediterranean brothers and sisters from me. I think the algorithm is doing its thing. Yeah, no, the servers are in America, so they're probably being controlled somehow. Cuckoo, one person's demon is another's angel. Good comment. It's a pleasure. Cuckoo, just arbitrary titles of humans trying to explain divine intelligences. There's that too. I mean, this is why, you know, we have to understand what each person is talking about when they are saying particular or using particular terms and words. I mean, when I use the word daemon, I'm thinking of divine intelligence. and that includes everything. That's not just, I hate the word infernals, but that's not what people refer to as the infernals. Not just that. I know modern demonology focuses a lot on the Middle Eastern areas and things like that, which is why we tend to come up with those particular group, that particular pantheon. But a divine intelligence is God, goddess, angel, everything. You know, it has intelligence. It can think for itself. And your licorice fruit is delicious. Really, I didn't like it. It was quite gross, actually. Will truth, Jono, if you want to get pregnant, then it's bad to stuff parsley inside yourself the day after. How are you stuffing the parsley in you is my question. I learned that in high school when studying superstitions. Cool, okay. Celeste, hello, Celeste. Discernment is key. Yo, yes, absolutely. You have to learn your discernment. You really, really do. Andrea, Jono, stuffing anything inside yourself is dubious. James is here. Hello, hello. Sorry, mate. I was conscripted into building furniture. Oh, cool. Yeah, what did you build? We want to know. How are we all? We are good, thank you. Celeste, I think I may start working with Seth. I just ordered his cartouche and been doing a lot of research on him. Good. Nice. Dragon. What are the significance of dreams in magic? Ooh, goodness me. Open a big can of worms. Significance of dreams. God, you can ask spirits and ancestors and the dead to come and speak to you in your dreams. You can get yourself into a hypnagogic state and start a journey and then go into sleep and continue that as a dream. You can travel in your dream. You can get knowledge and information from your dreams. You can use sigil work, which influences your dreams. Dream incubation. You know, influencing what you're going to dream about that night. There's so many things. So yeah, lots and lots and lots and lots of different significances. When it comes to dreams in magic, it's just a huge, huge topic, massive. Well, what, if anything, is the difference between demonology and demonology? So demonology is a study of demons, and that's usually used in reference to Christian scholars who are studying demons. Usually in reference to, but you know, there's some other people who are taking on that term who are not Christian now. Not really something term that I like to use myself, but yeah, it's the study of demons. Demonology is considered to be the worship of demons. We also have a modern term which came up, which was demonosophy, and it's considered to be walking alongside or walking with the demons. But demonology is exactly the same thing. It's just that the term worship is misinterpreted, not understood for what it actually means etymologically. So somebody came up with this demonosophy because they didn't like the word worship because it was too Christian. A bit silly, but anyway. Yeah, so demonology, the study of demons, demonology, the worship, or working with demons in your practice. James and Andrew, Cuckoo, what do you think about Jacques Verlies' concepts on UFOs? I probably don't have any opinion on this, actually. In his opinion, they are not aliens but creatures that we know from folklore. Yep, Passport to Magonia, great book. I think that's actually a book that I had on my list that I need to read. Yes, this is starting to ring a bell. I need to read this book because there is a lot of traditional lore, folklore that actually does speak about the not just the aliens, but also in reference to angels, specifically in terms of like the Watchers, the Grigori, as being fae folk, the good folk. So yeah, and I mean, when you actually compare, there was actually a book about the Jinn, which then started to compare the Arabic Jinn folklore with the European Fae folklore, and then started bringing in the concept of alien ufology and stuff like that, and the comparison between the various stories, and they're almost identical. So it comes to ufology and the alien stuff and all that whatnot. It probably is just fairy lore at the end of the day. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic. I mean, obviously you can't prove any of it, but it's an incredibly interesting concept. So I do need to get into that. Actually, I need to actually put this on my list. Right. I think I forgot to put it on there recently or previously. Let's do it. I'm going to put it over there. Come on, computer, you can do it. There we go. Right, oh, okay. That will not Valley. There we go. Okay, thank you for reminding me. James, well, there was a coffee table, 2 sets of drawers, and almost all of a small. Bloody hell, you're busy, aren't you? Hey? Okay. Good stuff. Cuckoo, some ufologists consider what some call aliens to be spiritual demonic beings. Yeah, it's something I can definitely get behind. So. I mean, these are, if you think of the Jinn or the Fae folk, they are entities which are kind of slightly out of sync with our own physical world, and they can pop in and out, and they can appear in the sky, they can walk amongst us, they can take on the form that humans have, and completely and utterly integrate and walk amongst us, and we wouldn't even know it. And a lot of the stories about aliens tend to overlap with a lot of the stories and myths about the Fae folk. So I can definitely see it. Definitely what I can get behind, I think, in that regard. It's just I'm not really much of an alien chaser and ufologist and things like that. There's just so much rubbish out there, and it's difficult to try and figure out and sift through, who's actually onto something and who's just gone into La La Land. I mean, Sitchin, he just went totally into the fiction, and everybody believes him at all, everything that he wrote because he was an authority on the topic. But he wasn't. He was originally he was writing about Sumerian lore. I mean, he wasn't getting all of it right, but at least he was like making an attempt. And at the same time, he was writing fiction, of science fiction. And the publishers found that the science fiction was selling better than the historical works that he was doing, about Sumerian and stuff like that. And so they said, we need more science fiction. And eventually he started creating the science fiction which was integrated with the Sumerian archaeological stuff. And then it just became science fiction. And we had the Anunnaki and what was it? Planet 9 or something. Oh, that's the recent planet they've discovered. Whatever the planet they came from, and they started mining gold on Mount South. It's got a fantastical at the end of the day. I bet everybody believes it, obviously. It's fun to believe in that. Anyway, will I prefer the term working with demons versus worshipping demons? It's fine, it's fine. As I said, I mean, it's all relative to how we are using specific terms and words and how we're interpreting them. But I think it's worthwhile having a look at the etymology of the word worship and understanding what it means, because really it means working with. It Worship is considering someone or something to be worthy of their station. And, you know, if you consider a spirit, whatever spirit that may be, to be worthy of your respect and honor, that's worshipping. It's not getting down and proselytizing yourself and, you know, giving all of your power to the spirit. That's definitely not what it's about. They do not want that. They kind of spit on that and kind of go, I don't want anything to do with this. So yeah, it's worth checking out etymologies of words, because we often use them very wrong. Just, you know, I'm using my words very wrong tonight. I can't talk properly. Dragon, I asked, but I don't know if you answered my question as to what do Fae look like. What are they and how do they view us? I'm not so much into Fae work. I do work with land spirits, but I don't really see them. I feel them. I feel the energy. And a lot of people will consider land spirits and nature spirits to be part of the fairy world. But fairies really usually often look like we do. There are a whole lot of different types. I mean, if you go into the Tuatha De Danann from Irish folklore, you know, you've got like monstrous one-eyed beings. They're an entirely different race altogether. They were, according to lore, as far as I remember, they inhabited the island before the people came over. Kind of pushed them underground. But yeah, I mean, usually if they don't kind of look like we do, they are quite often monstrous looking. They're huge. They're massive. And this is why then it starts to come into like kind of relating the Fae with the land spirits and the nature spirits and stuff, because they can often be quite big and powerful and quite often monstrous, because they're protectors of the land and things like that. So yeah, I mean, you'll find a lot of Fae actually dress up like humans. If you start going through old folk lore and things like that, myths and legends, you'll find that they often quite look like old hags, old women, or they just dress like we do, and usually in modern attire, so it can fit in. And they're amongst us all the time. So, yeah. Jono said sorry, Alistair. Not sure why. Cuckoo, another concept of UFOs, says that it is some kind of spiritual force that changes its mask over the centuries. In the past, it looked like owls, today like aliens. Possibly. I mean, the UFO frenzy only really started in the 40s. There were apparently some records from old Tibetan sources about floating things. But really, I mean, it only really started in the 40s. And even then, it's quite possible that it's still Fae. They just decided to change the way they presented themselves. And they could be doing it for a whole load of fun. It could just be a big laugh for them. You know, let's put this object in the sky that looks like a cigar, and see what the humans do. You know, I'd find it quite funny myself. But yeah. Andrea, John, interesting. How do I use it to get Alistair into the kitchen to cook? LM Darker is a great band. Was that on? I don't know. I'm just listening to it in the background here. Was that one of the bands that was playing just now? Well, I watched a horrible Christian documentary that basically said all alien abduction experiences were just demonic. Oh, of course, they would be. To the Christians, it's going to be demonic. It's going to be satanic, because everything that is not of their God is going to be lumped into the evil category, and they just call that all satanic. Hello, Michael. How do demons manifest to you? So I kind of see them astrally. I think it's probably the best term to use. Or it's a feeling of, it's like an energy feeling of movement, of, there's a shift that kind of takes place. You know, you kind of feel a shift in the atmosphere. The easiest way to explain it. That's if it's physically. If I go and talk to them, it's usually I'll move into the astral realm, do astral journeying or something like that. Go and talk to them, and that's, you know, speak to them face to face, talk with them. But physically, it's usually just a shift in the atmosphere, and depending on which spirit it is, it could be, I could feel warm air, I could feel cold air, I could just feel like a buzz, a comfort, you know, whatever it is. Celeste, licorice root is also a great medicinal, but research it before using it, as it can interfere with things. Thank you for that advice. Michael, the CE5 contract is but summoning rebranded. Never heard of CE5. Let's have a look. CE5 contract. Provides instructions and tools to assist you in making peaceful contact with extraterrestrial civilizations, as well as locating others in your area who are interested in making contact. What the bloody hell is that? It's on Google Play. Oh, now you're going to send me down all rabbit holes now. Dr. Stephen Greer and his team share their incredible videos and photos of UFOs and extraterrestrials captured at CE5 events. You see, I miss all this alien stuff, because I really don't go down that rabbit hole. But now this is an app, CE5 contact. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is now. Okay, give me more work to do. What was I? Andrea, Jono, you okay? It's just got back from the living room. Didn't read that. Michael, if you asked people of my village how demons manifest, they would tell you my name. Not such a bad thing. Oh goodness, it skipped now, I've lost it. Here we go. Andrea, simple domination work, easiest is a candle spell. You sprinkle licorice root around the base of the candle and concentrate on your will, becoming manifest while the candle burns. Good one. Quicker, I manifest myself simply. I wake up in the morning and leave the house. I wake up, I don't leave the house, so I don't manifest to anybody else outside. Andrea, Dragon Planet Nibiru. That was it, yeah, Nibiru. There's a whole lot of stuff that Zachariah Sitchin came up with. That's just, everybody's just on the bandwagon now, and it's just got too much. And it's all based in pure fiction. And nobody will accept that. So, you know, the falsehoods just continue. There's so many other things. James, Lee, or whoever else can jump in. Do you have any experience with murmur? I don't, actually. I'm exploring that spirit at the moment and would appreciate some insights and advice. Does anybody else have experience with murmur? Not a spirit that I've worked with. Andrea Cuckoo, you are kind of my kind of daemon. That's exactly what I did. So good luck. Also, skulls are great for working on other people's minds. Crystal skull or a picture of a skull, whatever. Put the candle safely on top of the skull. Michael the Fae used to leave implants in people. I haven't heard that actually. I mean, that's something that you kind of find in the UFO, alien abduction kind of experiences. Good morning, Andrea. Celeste. They are not like Tinkerbell, they are scary looking, and if you make angry over. Yeah, they've got a whole. You've got to remember when it comes to Fae lore, they've got a whole set of rules. They've got their own laws, and if you don't abide by them, you're in a lot of trouble. So if you do want to go and explore with the Fae, know their etiquette inside out and know how to deal with them. Otherwise, you could end up in lots and lots of trouble. So do you study? Go and study beforehand. Cuckoo Fae are not ugly. They rather present themselves to us in such a way as to chase us away. Oh no, some of them can be really ugly. They can be really vile looking. Trust me. Others no, sure, but you know, a lot of them are very ugly, especially when you get into like European law. Andrea and Celeste, that's true, and as humans we piss them off frequently, and especially nature spirits. Always screwing that up. Yolandi, I forgot why one does this. Cut an apple in half and put a bay leaf in between the two barbs. Well, you cut an apple in half because of the usually the pentagram got the 5